Welcome back. This is part 2 of our look at culture within top agencies. In our first discussion together, we went through 6 different principles. We talked about how there was no value hierarchy. We went into that there was a focus on strengths, that you're constantly trying to fortify your weaknesses, but there's a focus on strengths. That these cultures were very open and transparent, and they did a great job of aligning personalities and expertise with the customer's personality and what they were looking for. We also found that they were very results-oriented and that all of them were extremely professional. So let's talk about the second 6 here. The first one is that these organizations had a passion for learning. They were constantly rewarded and recognized for continually going out and pushing the envelope, trying to know more and more and more. So if they were a specialist in Australia, they wanted to really dig in and really know how things were working, knowing new opportunities, new modes of travel, new activities. They were just thirsty and hungry for that information. And that was spread across the entire business. That wasn't just in the products and the destinations and the services. It was also about how could we do our business better? Social media is a big topic these days. How do we harness that? Is that something that makes sense? Do our customers care about that? And if so, is that just part of our above-the-line marketing where the purpose of it is just to connect and get the brand out there, but we never try to use that as a sales technique? None of that comes unless you have that passion for learning, you're constantly exploring. The next one was an investment in talent. If you're going to be in the expertise quadrant, then you must invest in your talent. You must help them get product and service knowledge. You must enable them to go to the destinations that you want to be serving and learn and experience everything that they possibly can about that. You need to be enabling them through training in their sales acumen and their business acumen and other soft skills to help enable them to, 1, qualify a customer, interpret and understand the customer, and then based on that, being able to then understand what are their needs. And based on their needs, based on where they're trying to go and who they're trying to be, what could we possibly do for them? How could we make this real? That takes development, that takes time, and that takes skill. All of these agencies were very invested in their people. The next was that there's this recruitment of non-travel industry experience. What I heard from a lot of agencies in the interviews that we did was there was a focus on we're constantly looking for agents who have 10 or 15 years of experience, who come with their own portfolio of customers. They've got their own black book that they can go into. But the problem with that is that, 1, those people were also people that maybe didn't fit in the culture, or they were set in their ways based on how they had been successful in the past. Also, one of the struggles with that is that there is concern that if that person were then to leave, they take all of those customers away. So they're not actually the brand's customers. They're the individual's customers. So when I say that there's this recruitment of non-industry experience, what I mean by that is those people were also entrenched in what they had always done. They were entrenched in travel. But what if you needed new marketing capabilities? Or what if you're trying to get your handle around technology? Maybe you were looking into being able to segment your customers differently and being able to use data that you have within your CRM to more intelligently target new customers or to connect and to bridge that gap across Generation X and Generation Y. What we were finding is that these top agencies were looking at lots of different types of backgrounds, from people who were fresh out of university, that had degrees in different areas that were non-related to travel, to identifying people that were maybe 15 or 20-year veterans, but who were specialized in other areas. And the notion was, I can train someone to be a great travel advisor, but they have to love travel. And they should also come with other capabilities and other skills that they can bring into our portfolio to round us out, to soften and smooth out our rough edges. The next one was a celebration of wins. It didn't matter if it was a huge client, huge trip, small client, groups, solo traveler, whatever it may have been. There was this constant celebration of wins. People were being recognized for their contributions, because every notch that you move up is a notch that's getting you to where you want to go and where you want to be. You likely have targets within your business. Why not show people and make people aware of every time you take that step closer to realizing who and what you need to do and where you want to be? The next was that happy employees lead to happy customers. When I looked at some of these agencies that were underperforming, one of the things that I found is that the way that they were treating their employees resonated and came through in the way employees were treating their customers. And that comes through not just the travel industry by any means. I'm also talking about all the other businesses that I was lucky enough to go out and to look at. When the employees felt really recognized and really rewarded, and they felt like they were a part of the system, those employees did a better job than transferring that over to the customer experience. Ask yourself, are you cultivating an environment where people wake up in the morning and are looking forward to get into it? Are you creating an environment for yourself that when you wake up in the morning, you roll out of bed and you rush to work because there's so much that you want to get done and because you actually like doing it, not because you just have to do it? How can you make that contagious? And the last principle that we found was this notion of customer service is paramount. This shouldn't be a surprise, considering in strategy and in marketing and sales, what did we constantly talk about? We talked about how do you create those connections with customers that move you up that value pyramid, that create loyal customers who do all of the marketing and sales for you so that you don't have to invest as much time and effort and resources into that. Now, when you look at these end to end, you look at these 12 principles, there's some questions that you can go back and that you can start to think about. Which of these resonates with you the most? What would you go do tomorrow? Which of these are already part of your agency? What are you already doing? What do you want to expand upon? What do you want to do better? And then also, how can you continually focus on your agency's culture? Because we all know that when you get into that day-to-day grind and you're working on lots of different things, that this cultural component can fall. You can drop that ball, or you might sweep that under the rug. How are you not going to do that? How are you going to make sure that you are building that place that everyone enjoys coming to, that people say that they love working for, that even when people leave your agency, they talk about your agency with the highest regards? Those are really important questions. Thank you.